Alright, let's pause this Snarky. I'm on my second listen now of the new Snarky Puppy album. It's March 4th, which I believe is the only day on the calendar that is a command, March 4th. I'm going to make sure one more time that this is recording, just in case. Cool. Yeah, March 4th, 8:57 a.m. on my way to work. Should get there right at 10. And I was just thinking, one of the things that I'll miss most about my job, aside from the various people who I've come to really like over the years, is that music, particularly the music that I have found in the last half decade of my life, some of my favorite music, such as Snarky Puppy and Chon and other artists, I guess Kendrick Lamar, a bunch of music that has really meant a lot to me over the years that I've been at MailChimp. I found it because I have so much time to listen to things during my job, whether it's a podcast or a YouTube suggestion. I've actually been pretty surprised with I think the YouTube algorithm for suggestions of music. Okay, here's another one, Owane or Owane or whatever it is. YouTube has hit it out of the park much more regularly than suggestions from strangers in terms of like music that I almost instantly like. So just interesting. Snarky Puppy, the album We Like It Here, definitely my favorite, and it was the first one suggested to me as far as I know. So Owane, that album, Rock Is Too Hard, I think that song was suggested to me, and Owane very quickly became one of my favorite artists. Still is. I'm hoping that he releases something before I hit the Appalachian Trail. Got a little bit of construction noise here going on. Not sure what's the deal, but that's one thing I thought about as I go in and out of towns. It'll be sort of like a miniature Christmas to be able to download any of the songs, well, not songs, podcasts that have come out since I've been out on the trail to take back out with me. And I don't really think I'll be able to actually keep up or follow too much music. I've tried to follow every artist that I really care about, upcoming releases on YouTube, because I know that there will be some sort of a release, if only informationally there. So hopefully some of the big time players in my music life release some stuff in the next half of a year. I know Snarky Puppy is coming out with a new album, and I'm pretty excited for that. I've definitely enjoyed the couple of tracks that I've heard. Sounds like a pretty mature album. It's, I think, the second album that they've recorded in studio. But even so, recording in studio, it still has sort of that live band feel. And some of their music videos have sort of bared that out. That, you know, they are in studio, but they're all still looking at each other and having a good time, and that's important for that music, for the real like meat of it to come through. The rain moved out. I'm on the unfinished beltline, and I've already walked past the part where my feet got soaked yesterday. I did have to end up sort of drying out my shoes in the dryer, and then also washing my socks again. Recently found that there's a hole in one of my socks, which speaks pretty well to their durability, because I've certainly worn them for over 1,000 miles, and they're just now starting to fray. So I need to go get a new pair this coming Friday. So I think I'll walk to REI for that. That's a nice little, 20-mile round trip kind of thing. And I should be able to do it faster than I ever have since I walk quickly now, or at least more quickly than the last time I went there. And I can make a day of it. Obviously, go see my friend Josh at the tattoo parlor that he works at, and I don't know, get an update on the status of Performance Bikes, which has recently gone into bankruptcy. So that'll be cool. Be a little interesting. It'll probably be the last time I go to REI before heading out on the trail. I can't imagine why else I'd go there at this point. And today, since the rain has moved out, in its stead is an offensive cold. It's quite cold out here. It's about 38 degrees, so not insurmountable. I'm warm. I've got my normal long-sleeved Columbia shirt, and then I have my down jacket, and then I'm wearing my Frog Tog rain jacket. So my torso, I'm also wearing gloves, and feeling pretty warm, at least as far as the vital organs are concerned. I'm wearing shorts because it's not that cold out, but it is a little windy out here as well, which is what you certainly would expect in this kind of a sequence where there is a heavy rain that blows through and then leaves. This is like the wind that was blowing it through, and it's chilly. Again, offensively so. It's been in the mid 60s for the high for the past few days. Something that I think we were all getting spoiled on. And a few days this week. No rain in the forecast, which is nice. But, you know, the flip side of that is that it's cold. So another fallback to winter conditions. Fair enough. Hoping to encounter as few of those as possible on the trail, but I don't really think that's a realistic expectation. So getting out here when it's cold is pretty important. Just because, you know, just like with everything else, if things get hard, times get hard, the best thing you can do is just keep moving. And if you're cold, you know, maybe do a couple push-ups, maybe, I don't know, stop, make a hot drink or something. But, you know, the best way to get through it is just to keep moving. You stay warmer, you don't have to despair. So, yeah, I'm out here moving, staying warm. I thought there was a thread there that I kind of wanted to explore. I think I lost it. Doesn't really matter. Had a nice morning. This morning I woke up at 8 instead of 8:10, which was nice. Get that extra 10 minutes. It makes a difference when, you know, this kind of commute to work can end in me being 5 minutes late if I leave a little later from my house. So now I'm on track to get there on time, maybe even a little early. And fed my dogs first thing this morning, which is a good tactic. I'm surprised I don't do that more often, because then it gives them time to go to the bathroom and stuff before I leave. Typically I wouldn't feed them until about 8:30, and then they may not finish eating completely until like 8:40, and I already need to go pretty much at that point. So if they're not ready to go to the bathroom, then there's a chance that they won't go to the bathroom before I leave, and then that means they have to be inside the house, no bathroom, for like several hours, like probably at least 8. And I don't like to do that to them, because I wouldn't want that done to me, and I don't want them to have an accident, obviously. Taking another pit stop here real quick. Same place I pit stopped the other day. So that was smart of me to do that, to feed them first. I really should just start doing that all the time. And waking up at 8 o'clock didn't hurt anything either. Listened to a couple of funny things this morning. Well, I guess really just one funny thing. I listened to a Bill Burr clip, and I don't tend to listen to anything Bill Burr says. Not a huge fan. Don't really think he says anything all that revolutionary or intelligent or incisive. And so I got nothing against him. I'm not anti-Bill Burr, but he's never pulled me in like a Dan Harmon or, here we go, Brody Stevens. So Brody Stevens recently passed away. Took his own life in late February, I believe. and Bill Burr was eulogizing him. And so, I was like, well, let's listen to what Bill Burr has to say, because I've listened to a bunch of eulogies on YouTube of comedians talking about him, and I have a pretty good idea now of who he is as a person, having listened to Brody Stevens' podcast, A Fair Deal, having seen a bunch of YouTube clips, Periscopes, the first episode of his show from HBO Go, Enjoy It. Enjoy it! Yes! Positive push. We'll get through this. Arms crossed. Negative energy. Funny guy. Very, very funny guy. And so I was listening to Bill's, and I was like, alright, well, I think I've heard enough of his take on this. Again, just not saying anything I haven't heard elsewhere. I don't understand really why he's so revered. Well, maybe I shouldn't even say that. I think it's unfair. But, okay, let me preface this statement by saying that I think it's unfair, and I think it's probably because I'm sort of an elitist in a certain respect when it comes to intelligence, but I feel like Bill Burr is a dumb person's comic. Like, I don't know. Put Bill Burr head to head with someone like George Carlin, I just don't even feel like they're in the same league in terms of the stuff I've heard. I haven't really given him a huge chance, so again, I'm caveating this with the fact that I acknowledge completely that my opinion is biased and probably problematic, and not one that I would openly espouse to, especially a Bill Burr fan. But, I just haven't been swept away by the Burr mania. And I'm kind of surprised that so many people like him. It's just like, why? What is it? I don't know. Anyway, all of that subjectivity aside, I also found this funny clip of this lawyer breaking down the serial case in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where Frank hits Dennis's car with his car and causes Dennis to spill his cereal all over himself. It's really funny to have a real lawyer breaking down that whole episode and talking in a funny way about how it's either like realistic or not realistic. And I probably will watch another few of that guy's videos, because I know that there's at least one other court case, some mock court case that It's Always Sunny did in the past, and it would be funny to hear his breakdown of that, because I think that one is less realistic than the serial case. So that was my morning. Good cup of coffee, good sort of ramp up to consciousness. Dogs are all taken care of. Getting close to the end of the unfinished Beltline. Reviewing my mental Rolodex to see if there's anything else. I guess I could talk about yesterday how I went to Ponce City Market to check on the status of the game that I was cheating to get the high score of. I was successful. I'm walking backwards now so that the wind doesn't hit the microphone directly. Not sure if that's been a problem during this clip, but it's pretty strong wind. Probably gusts of like 20, but on average somewhere between like 13 and 14 miles an hour. Anyway, I had the high score now, 1.8 million. Pretty sweet. Like, that's, well, let's do the math. It's about 4 times 4? Nah, it's like 3.5 times more than the previous record. Man, this wind is no joke. So I was happy to see that. Happy to know that I don't have to set that whole thing up again next weekend, because I was really wanting to get the high score before I left. So that's taken care of. Don't have to worry about that this coming Saturday. And it'll be a funny little talking point with my coworkers, a couple of them, who I know would appreciate it. Yeah, anything else? Going once, going twice. Bueller. Ran into my friend James last night at Kroger. That was funny. Always enjoy that. He's a good guy. He might one day be listening to this. He's one of the few people who I think would have the intelligence and perhaps desire to locate these clips, because I mentioned to him that I was going to be creating a YouTube podcast, and he seemed slightly interested. Man, this wind. So if you're listening, James, shouts out to you. Damn, this wind is bad. I'll go ahead and leave it there. I don't really have anything else to say, and I'm not sure how well you'd even be able to hear me say it, considering the veracity of this wind. So for now, March 4th, 9/12, enjoy it. Yes, positive push. I was in The Hangover. That's as far as my Brody Stevens impression can go. Anyway, that's all for now. Talk to you again later.